An Indigenous NHL legend has died. The family of 52-year-old Chris Simon says the hockey enforcer died by suicide Monday night and are pointing the finger at CTE. It's a brain disease that comes from chronic head trauma and is only just starting to be taken seriously in the world of sports. Emily Taylor joins us in studio with this story. Emily, how is the league reacting tonight?
Yeah, Nicole, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman did offer his condolences to Simon's family, but when it came to the issue of CTE, he again refused to draw a line between the disease and hockey.
Chris Simon was acquired in 2004 to bring some size and toughness to the Calgary Flames.
Former NHL enforcer Chris Simon has died at the age of 52. His family confirming he died by suicide Monday night in his hometown of Wawa, Ontario. Simon inspired many First Nations hockey players across Canada as one of the only NHLers of Ojibwe descent. He's remembered by teammates and fans as a dominant force on the ice, playing from 1993 to 2008 and taking home the Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche in '96.
He represented a sort of crossroads between two eras of the game, where we had the post-lockout, much more skilled era, and this sort of era where you needed there was a belief that you needed a level of intimidation, and he was one of the most intimidating players that ever played the game. There's no question about it. He was terrifying.
Simon fought more than 100 times throughout his career. His family believes CTE is to blame for his death, saying they witnessed firsthand that Chris struggled immensely with it. CTE is a degenerative brain disorder caused by repeated head trauma, but can only be confirmed after death.
There are still a lot of questions that we need to answer scientifically. We still don't know how to diagnose CTE in life, for example. But what we do know is that repeated hits to the head increase an individual's risk of CTE. And that science is really well established.
The condition has only recently been taken seriously in the sports community, especially as research emerges showing hockey enforcers die 10 years younger on average than fellow players. While the league has gotten stricter on some penalties in the decades since Simon took the ice, it still isn't willing to acknowledge a link between hockey and CTE.
Chris' passing is tragic. It's sad. We extend our deepest condolences to his family and friends. And, on all of these matters, we wait to see what the medical experts tell us. However, having said that, I think it's well documented all the progress that we've made over the last couple of decades to make the game as safe as possible.
But the attitude that the NHL has expressed, including today, has been very Flamingo-esque, and for just, hey, the science isn't there yet. It's like, well, that sounds a lot like the tobacco industry regarding, lung cancer back in the day.
Unlike other neurodegenerative diseases, unlike Alzheimer's disease, we have this well-characterized exposure. We know what's causing the disease. So if we can decrease that exposure, we can decrease the likelihood that people are going to have to suffer with this disease.
Sports experts say the league needs to take head trauma more seriously, especially as many conversations this season revolve around bringing more fighting back to the game, fueled by a new player on the scene, Matt Rempe.
And there's been a lot of people, south of the border, north of the border, who've really said, oh, isn't this great? What is this? I remember guys like this. They remind me of Chris Simon. He reminds me of Bob Probert. He reminds me of Eric Goddard. And the problem is, a lot of those stories end in tragedy.
Now, a sports expert I spoke with today actually believes fights in hockey will become more prevalent this season and next season. That's as fans eagerly watch 21-year-old Matt Rempe, who's gotten into 4 fights in just 10 games with the New York Rangers. Nicole?
Thank you so much for that report, Emily. In light of these serious topics we've been covering today, we here at Trending Now want to let you know that you are not alone. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts or has been sexually assaulted, there are resources that can help and offer support. We have the info for various supports on the screen now. Most services offer the option to call or text, and every single one is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.